We're all constantly amazed by what AI can do. I mean, it can write poetry, diagnose diseases. It's incredible. But how it actually gets to its answers, well, that's always been a complete mystery. We see the question go in, the answer come out, but everything in between has been a total black box. Until now.
So let's just dive right in. For the very first time, we can actually peek inside the mind of an AI. We're going to explore some absolutely groundbreaking research that gives us a tool to finally answer that very question. Think about it. For the longest time, the inner workings of these advanced AIs have felt just as complex and mysterious as our own brains, right? They're unbelievably capable, but how they connect the dots from A to B has been completely opaque.
But what if you had a microscope for the mind of an AI? That's pretty much exactly what this new research has created. It's a method to literally reverse engineer an AI's reasoning, to trace its thoughts from the very beginning to the very end. So where do you even start? Well, the first step is to identify the basic units of its thought process. The researchers call them features, and a great way to think of them is like the individual cells in a living thing. They're the fundamental building blocks of its intelligence. And here's the basic idea of how it works. This method lets researchers pinpoint these individual features, then trace all the connections between them, and finally build out a kind of wiring diagram that shows you the AI's entire thought process for any specific task. It's wild. All right, so we've got the microscope, we point it at a powerful AI model, and what did we find? Well, get ready for some truly incredible and frankly kind of surprising discoveries about how an AI actually thinks. First up, let's look at a pretty simple multi-step reasoning problem. If I asked you this question, your brain would probably go, okay, Dallas is in Texas, and the capital of Texas is Austin. Pretty straightforward. But does the AI do the same thing? And guess what? It does. This is a perfect example of what the tool can show us. After it processes the word Dallas, the tool shows us that the AI internally activates a feature for Texas. And only after that silent internal step does it generate the answer Austin. So this isn't just fancy pattern matching. It's genuine, step-by-step reasoning. Okay, that's logic. But what about something more creative, like writing a rhyming poem? How does the AI know to end that second line with a word that rhymes with it? Does it just start typing and kind of hope for the best? You'd think it just wings it, right? Nope. It actually plans ahead. The microscope reveals something amazing. Before the AI even starts to write that second line, it's already activating features for words that rhyme, like rabbit and habit. It basically picks its rhyming word first, and then it builds the sentence to lead up to that conclusion. Now, this tool is amazing for seeing when things go right, but what about when they go wrong? Let's talk about when an AI just makes stuff up, what we call a hallucination. What is actually going on inside its digital mind when that happens? So the researchers dug in and they found something absolutely fascinating. It turns out the AI has this sort of default refusal circuit. For someone famous like Michael Jordan, it recognizes the name and turns that circuit off so it can give an answer. But for an unknown name, it keeps that refusal circuit on and says it doesn't know. So this gives us a huge clue about hallucinations. They can be caused by a simple misfire. If the AI thinks it recognizes a name, even when it doesn't, it flips off that I don't know switch. But since it doesn't actually have the information, it's forced to just guess, which leads to a confident-sounding but completely made-up answer. Okay, so this is all super cool, right? But why does it really matter? Why is this more than just a fascinating academic exercise? Well, it has enormous real-world implications. Because being able to see inside the machine, that's the first real step to truly auditing AI for safety. We can finally start to diagnose and fix errors, like hallucinations, build more reliable systems, and ultimately make sure that we can trust and control these incredibly powerful tools that we're bringing into every part of our lives. And look, this is really just the beginning. We have finally cracked open the black box, and the discoveries we're making are already fundamentally changing how we understand this new kind of intelligence. It just leaves you wondering, right? If this is what we find on day one, what else is waiting to be discovered inside?